Hello, Simi, can you hear me? We, looking for my lighter, here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our, can you guys see me and hear me okay? Yay, okay, good. Welcome to our Lionsgate ritual. I don't know about you, but today, I hope you're feeling it. Today has been a turning point, energetically. There has been a shift today on this planet, and I think a lot of people who don't even know what you and I are about to do are feeling it. There's an opening, there's a rising of some really powerful generative energy, and I think it has everything to do. Thank you for the early birthday wishes, by the way. I really appreciate it. I'm I'm taking my kids to Dave and Buster's tomorrow. Dave and I like to spend, our birthdays with the kids, and I don't want to drag them to do stuff that they don't want to do. So I was like, well, let's all go to Dave and Buster's. So that's my big birthday plans, at least for lunch. Anyway, I'm glad you're feeling it too. And so tonight we're going to do a very special ritual that we haven't done before. And the purpose of the ritual is to create space for you to channel what are called your star markings. These are codes that the star beings from the different systems, and in this case tonight we're talking about Sirius. These are codes or markings, as they're sometimes called, that are gifted through portals like this. And I'm going to talk to you tonight about Sirius and why you would want star markings from this system. So I'm going to try to give you the best 30-second history of our planet that I can. And honestly, I think if you're here, it's like right place, right time. I think you're meant to be here. I think you're meant to experience this ritual tonight. I think you're meant to access whatever information comes through. Bobby said this was her birthday gift to herself. Happy birthday to you. Isn't it funny how many of us have birthdays around the Stargate? It's interesting, right? Really, really interesting. Oh. Yeah, Paulette, you kind of stopped, dropped, and ran, but I hope you're having fun. You can always do this again later. So the Stargate opens and closes on August 12th. So we are in the center of this energetic stream. And basically what happens is the sun and the earth and star Sirius have to be in right formation. It only happens once a year, and it happens during this Lionsgate portal. And so the energy of that alignment is what opens what they call this Stargate. Okay, so planetary alignment is really important, and it creates a flow of energy between those bodies that energetically opens up new pathways and new possibilities. And you can imagine just having planets in line would make it easier for energy to flow among and between them, right? And so anyway, the energy from tonight that's flowing here is from that star. Why do you care about Sirius? Well, it's really hard to tell you without telling too many long stories. Sirius is the star that the wise men followed to find the Christ child. Sirius has always been associated with ascended masters. And so what we believe is that those who came and created Atlantis and Lemuria, some of them were from Sirius. And the lineage of those Syrian ancestors, and I don't mean Syria like the country, I mean Sirius the star, okay? The lineage of those Syrian ancestors exists today in Egypt because Thoth, who was a high priest, an Atlantean high priest who came from star Sirius, when Atlantis was destroyed, Thoth went to Egypt, right? And Thoth had many faces, right? The Syrian, entity that was Thoth had many faces. He showed up in the Bible as Enoch. He showed up in the Greek mythology as Mercury, right? And so there are all these faces of this one energy stream. But if you look at the different faces of that energy stream, they're all responsible for communication. Thoth was the entity that created the papyrus, right, and was responsible for hieroglyphs. And so Sirius has always been associated with Christ consciousness and communication, documentation. And so, as the legend goes, the Sirian beings scattered mostly to Egypt, but also other parts of the world, Avalon, for example. And so, as the legend goes, the masculine edge of the Sirian star family lives now in Egypt, and the feminine edge of the Sirian star beings lives in Avalon, in Glastonbury, England. And so those were the primary two places where those energies went. The divine feminine went and anchored itself in Avalon, and the divine masculine went and anchored itself in Egypt. And you can see very much how those two countries, right, represent the masculine and the feminine in so many ways. It's a very much a masculine and a feminine energy stream that you experience in those places. Okay, now with all of that information, right? And so because we know that the star series was connected to Christ consciousness, and because we know it's connected to all of the ascended masters, the light codes that are activated through a Sirian portal like this, and star markings that you might be granted, and star markings are energetic, but they are imprints on your energy field. They actually have star markings. Certain star beings have star markings they can give you too. It's almost like a bandage over wounds. And so one of the things you can do with star markings is you can use those markings to heal trauma. And so, because old trauma is governed by the energies that we're talking about, right? It's governed by these energy streams. And so you can use the divine feminine edge of this Sirian energy tonight from this portal to, be the tender sort of healing maternal energy that you need to go in and look at and discover and heal trauma. And you can use the masculine edge of tonight's energy for power and strength, which we also associate with the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate has both the masculine and the feminine, just like the Sirian star system has both the masculine and the feminine. If you ever have a chance in your life to go to Egypt, if you ever have a chance in your life to go to Glastonbury, at some point I will lead a retreat, at least to Glastonbury, if not to both places. In fact, I've already started to seed the conversation about leading a group to Glastonbury. It'll be a couple of years. My guess is probably 2021, 2022. I would love to do it in 2022 as like a master number year. Wouldn't that be awesome? But anyway, that's where you're really going to feel Sirian energy. If you think, gosh, I'd like to know what that feels like, go to Egypt, go through the pyramids, go to Glastonbury, see the Chalice Well. That's where you're really going to experience the Sirian energies that I'm talking about. But tonight you can activate code. Tonight you can have the experience of activating code. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to open a circle. We have smudged. I'm also going to open my circle with my double terminated quartz wand, just to sort of seal the energies. And I'm going to light my candle. So this is my Lion's Gate candle, if you have yours. If you don't, like I said, it's okay. But I'm grateful to have you guys tonight. This is not a public ritual. I just did this as an offering to those of you in Holistic Healer. It just felt really nice to gather with my tribe tonight. So thank you for being my tribe. And thank you for, we could all go and do this, this ritual, some form of it on our own separately, but I have to tell you, I love doing ritual with you guys. I so look forward to it. I would not have enjoyed my time tonight nearly as much if I had done something solitary and said, oh, happy Lion's Gate. I really wanted to be with you, so thank you for being with me too. There are 8 oils in your Lion's Gate perfume. Did you freak out? Is it one of the best smelling things you've ever smelled? I love it so much. I can give you all the notes if you want, but it's real deal. And by the way, it's not cut, so it's very pure. So take 3 deep inhales there. Thanks, you guys. I really feel that too. And thank you, Kenneth. I love knowing that it's your first and you're losing your Lion's Gate virginity here with me right now. I'm very honored. Okay, so we have carnelian, black Lemurian jade, and your zircon. Okay, the carnelian represents the masculine edge. Okay, the black Lemurian jade and the zircon are your feminine stones. So what I recommend that you do is put your feminine stones, whatever you're using to hold the feminine, put them in your right hand, or whatever your feminine receiving side is, and take the masculine stone and hold it in your left hand, whatever your projecting side is. And I would just hold them, okay, for the duration of the ritual. Sometimes we do different things, but I want you to hold them. I want these to be in your hands for as much of this meditation as possible, because you're going to be downloading code. Now, you can choose, and you have to articulate with your guides. There's two different ways to receive code. You can choose to receive code and markings directly, or you can choose to ask to receive them into stones, and then the stones can transmit to you. The benefit of working with the stones, I'm just sharing sort of my 2 cents on this. The benefit of having them put the markings and the codes into stones is the stones will deliver and transmit to you at a slower pace. Sometimes when you just say, give me the codes, give me the markings, it can be really overwhelming to your central nervous system. Sometimes I can't sleep very well after I do that. You're getting some codes probably and some markings that aren't relevant for you now, but will be relevant for you before the Lion's Gate next year. Do you know what I mean? So they give you everything up front. So a lot of times what I tell my guides is put it into the crystals. Transfer all this information into the crystals, and then allow the crystals to imprint at a pace that I can integrate easily. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so for me, my right side is feminine and my left side is masculine. So I'm holding my masculine stone in my left hand, that's my carnelian, and I'm holding my feminine stones, which is my zircon and my black Lemurian jade, in my right hand. If it's reversed for you, that's okay, but just hold your feminine in one hand and the masculine in the other. Okay. Team SG, people are having trouble finding the event, so if you could direct them, I would super duper appreciate it. My fabulous team is standing by, so don't worry, they will help you guys. Okay, so I want you to roll your shoulders back, call your energy into present time. Guardians of the 4 gateways, we greet you this evening. We ask you to attend us in our ceremony as we proceed through the Lion's Gate. We are so grateful for the strength, the power, the clarity, the direction, the healing, the absolute force of fire and flame that comes through this evening. We honor and recognize the many ascended masters and beings of light who have descended from Star Sirius to help colonize, to help heal, to help guide our planet. We are so thankful for the many, many beings who have come through that Stargate to teach us, to lead us, to model for us peace and sacrifice. And we know that even today, there are so many Sirian star beings who are still alive and well on our planet, teaching us, guiding us, shaping us. We may not even know who they are or how they're transmitting, but we're grateful for their presence. Where we recognize this is the purest essence of divine feminine love and divine masculine love that we can ever experience. And to really get a sense of that, I mean, really think about what kind of compassionate love Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene represent, who are thought to be Sirian avatars, right? I mean, think about that is the level of divine, selfless compassion that really, I think, reflects the beauty of the beings who come from this planet, from the star. And so I want you to imagine that you are standing in front of the most beautiful golden gate you can imagine. Ornate, carved. It's as tall as you can see. When you gaze up, that gate just goes forever, and it's as wide as you can imagine. And you're standing before it. It's just glowing gold. You know, gold has always been important to our ancestors. The Sirians colonized this planet in an effort to support the mining of gold, right? Because that's how Earth was chosen, really. And that's a long story too for another time, but chosen by the Anunnaki because of the proportion of gold in the core of our planet. And so the Sirian star beings had to come to sort of counterbalance the Anunnaki, who were already here and didn't have any of that loving, compassionate light to share with the world. And so the Sirians came here as a counterbalance. And so tonight we stand before the gates as the Lion's Gate opens. I really want you to visualize that gate as clearly as you can. Mine is sort of gold and ornate, and you might imagine that there are stones burnished into it or set into it. And as you stand in front of this gate, I want you to feel the awe, the immensity I want you to feel how welcomed you are here. There's something intended about your presence in front of this gate. It's almost like the whole universe conspired to get you here so that they could open these doors in front of you and let the floodgates open to strength, to power, to possibility, to prosperity, to clarity. These are the gifts, to compassion and love, to complete healing of anything that ails you, body, mind, or spirit. All of it tonight can be healed. And so before we proceed through the gates, I want you to focus right now on 3 areas in your life where you need healing or strength. What are the 3 areas in your life right now where you really want to claim this tonight? You're ready to receive healing, and you're ready to receive strength. Is it personally? Is it in your relationship? Right? Is it professionally? Where do you really need those 2 qualities? Where could you use more love or care, or somebody just caring about you, showing up for you? And where could you use more strength? The ability to persevere and trust that all is going to unfold in perfect time, right? Like, where do you need those? Sarah's at the gate. She is there. General healing. And so try to even go a little bit, like double click on that and see if your guides will take you to a particular place in your body that needs healing. You might even just imagine doing a full body scan where you sort of, close your eyes and energetically just scan your own energy field from head to toe and ask your guides, where do I need that support? Where do I need that healing tonight? So now I want you to imagine that as these gates open for you, and the guides are eager to open the gates for you, as these gates open for you, I want you to imagine a beam of light coming from as far as you can see in front of you, and beams of light coming from both sides, and a beam of light coming from behind you, pushing you through that gate on these waves of light. And as you step through that beautiful golden gate, I want you to feel and sense that you are emerging on the other side of that portal as a different person. I want you to step through and receive that empowerment tonight. I really want you to imagine the possibility that this Stargate opens for 4 days a year, because the most powerful beings in our universe wish to share their strength, their power, and their compassion with us. And all we have to do is stand and receive. And so as you enter these gates, roll those shoulders back. What does empowerment feel like for you? What does healing feel like for you? What does surrender feel like for you? What does support on every level feel like for you? What does optimism feel like for you? And so as Kelly is healing sadness in her heart, I want you to think about what power and support would do to that sadness. It would transform it, right? It would transmute it. It would shift that sadness to optimism. It would shift that sadness to possibility. What would power and support, right? Ancestral healing for Teresa Jolly, right? So like, what would power and support do for ancestral healing? Right? They're showing me, for you, Teresa Jolly, they're showing me that's just this, it's like a wave, almost like a circulating wave of energy that's going through your field right now, Teresa Jolly. I see you very clearly right now. It's almost like a cyclone going through your energy field. They're telling me they're cleaning. They're cleaning, Teresa. Feels like Kundalini, Rosie, right? Do you feel it? Let the energy just circulate around you as you push through those gates, and I want you to walk through confidently, boldly. Those gates are opening wide, and your presence here is so intended. Walk through boldly. Let that swirl of energy, it's clearing from Teresa Jolly, but for others of you, it's not clearing, it's attracting. It's like it's pulling energy in from all different parts of your life and your field. I feel like they're showing me how they're moving resources around right now for some of you to bring people closer to you or to bring resources closer to you. That's right. Loss of fear is freedom, Lisa Lopez. 1,000%. It is like intense Reiki. It really, this is like galactic Reiki tonight. Roll your shoulders back. They keep telling me to have you open up your diaphragm. Remember that when your guides are working on your power center, they're working from here to here, right? They're working from heart to sacral. Don't block anything right now. Don't cross your arms. Let them. It's like a swirl of energy that's coming through, and they're activating all of your power centers right now. Open it up. I'm serious. If you have felt powerless, if you have felt confused, if you have felt weak, I am telling you right now, this is your moment, and you claim it. That is all done. This is your moment to be strong. Stand up. Bonnie's standing up. I'll stand up with you. Turn my camera up. No more. We are standing. We are standing. And I am standing for you too. I'm not just standing for me. We are standing for each other. That's okay, Sarah. Stay with that, right? So there's energy moving through. If you feel pain, that's just energy moving. If standing feels good, stand up. Do you know what I mean? Move that energy around. If you feel like you need to move, stretch your arms out. Take up your space here, right? Power is about taking up your space. Too much of the time, we end up like this at the end of the day, right? Shoulders are hunched over. Stand back. Open your diaphragm. They're wanting you to open your chest and really feel your power here. And again, they're showing me the swirl of energy happening around you. Cynthia, you don't need to stand up. So just honestly, Cynthia, do you know what my guides just told me? She is standing up. Energetically, you are standing up. Okay, so Nicole's sweating on the masculine side. Woo! So Great Spirit, tonight we receive this energy so powerfully. I'm having to really stand firmly. I'm having to put my feet about hip distance apart to really anchor myself because I feel like I'm going to fall over. I stand with my tribe tonight. I'm so proud of every one of you. This is the night to claim your power, to take it back. We call in clarity, we call in strength, we call in support on every level. The support we need to feel loved, to feel encouraged, to be reminded that we are never alone. We do not walk this path alone. I call in the blessings and the healing of the mother tonight to heal our hearts, to heal our emotions. Total unconditional love tonight. I call in through the Lion's Gate for all of us, claiming that endless, boundless, unconditional love and compassion and support, that we are all the children of God, of Source, of Gaia. We are their children. We should never feel alone. So we call in all of that loving, nurturing, maternal, divine feminine. We receive it tonight. And then on the masculine side, we call in power, we call in strength, we call in clarity and direction. Woo! We call in action and decisiveness. We call in prosperity. We call in ease. All the gifts of the masculine. Just let that energy swirl around your solar plexus. It's moving around each of you. And they're showing me sort of it's coming in closer and tighter right now to your solar plexus, which is about 2 fingers above your belly button. So see if you can feel that. It should be warm. It could be a little bit tender, right at the solar plexus. And so, and you can stay there as long as it feels good to you. It's good stuff, isn't it? And now the last part of the meditation that they've asked me to do with you tonight, and again, I've never done this meditation before, so you and I are both experiencing it for the first time, but I'm excited about it, is shape-shifting. You want to shape-shift with me? I think it sounds kind of fun. Okay, so the last part of this exercise is that we become the lion. And I really want you to think about this tonight. What does lion represent to you? Lion is a good friend to me because it's one of my spirit animals. And I know for sure I had a past life as a lion. I know I did. And so it makes me cry, actually. So I think I loved being a lion. And so this will be easy for me. If you struggle with the lion, it's okay. I promise you they're very warm and fuzzy underneath all of that, rough and tumble and, their roar. Okay. And so I want you to imagine they're showing me lions coming towards you now, and they're just slowly walking towards you, the lion and the lioness. And you'll see whether you feel called to become the lion or to become the lioness. If you don't have to, as a male, you don't have to become the lion, and as a female, you don't have to become the lioness. I'm gonna become the lion tonight. And I'm not feeling called to be the lioness tonight. I'm being called to be the lion. Oh, you guys are already there. I love it. Norma's already the lion, so she doesn't need any help. Okay. And so as lion comes to you, just gently putting his big paws down and coming towards you, and maybe he's laying down in front of you to show you how sweet he can be. I want you to come closer to lion and try to mimic lion's movements, right? If lion is laying down, come and lay next to lion. See if you can feel lion's fur. Try and get as close as you can, right? Really feel. Stretch out your arm to touch and feel the fur, and see if you can feel that connection and that kinship. You can always call on lion. Lion will keep you safe. Lion will protect you. Lion's a good lookout, right? Lion can go ahead of where you have to go if you're afraid, and make sure that you're safe. And so I want you to imagine your energy stream. Feel your energy stream, and I want you to sense the lion's energy stream. And I want you, almost like, the double helix of DNA, I want you to imagine your two energy streams beginning to unite. Let yourself flow into lion's energy stream, and lion will let himself flow into your energy stream, and just let the two energy streams dance for just a moment. How does it feel like to start to be in that presence and in that place? And do you notice as you start to lean into that lion energy stream that your body starts to move in sort of a different way? It's like you can feel more feline and more cat-like, right? As you start to really tune in and allow yourself to shift into that energy stream. There's a regalness to it and a ferocity to it. But what's really beautiful about lion energy? See if you feel it. There's nothing to prove. Lion has nothing to prove. One of the things I love about lion is lion can kill you. So lion has nothing to prove. Why would lion prove that? So instead, lion can be in his own power. He has nothing to prove to you. And that's why lions are so intriguing, because every other creature on the planet feels like it needs to prove it. But the lion does not. Do you feel like, I feel like there's all these lion spirits around our circle right now too. It's almost like, it feels really sweet, like they've surrounded us tonight to show us that we're protected and that we're empowered and we're safe. Do you feel how you're able to rest in that knowing and in that power with nothing to prove? Nothing to prove. You are so powerful, you have nothing to prove to anyone. And that allows you to rest. Isn't that beautiful? Woo. I like that. It is a cuddly cat pile. I like it. That is some yum right now. Tony said 3 lions came to her, 2 male and 1 female. And Carol got a wolf too. There's always room in my pack for a wolf. Okay. Sweet Lion, we give so much thanks to you tonight for the beautiful example you set of that capacity to sit fully and completely in our power with nothing to prove. We don't have to stretch those paws. We don't have to flex those claws. We just have to remember who we are. And so tonight, we give thanks to our Syrian star guides. At this time, guides, if you have any coding or marking for us, any codes to activate or any marks to imprint, please follow each person's guidance. So if they've asked you to imprint to the stones, please imprint to the stones. If they've asked to receive the codes and markings directly, please transmit them directly. But at this time, we ask for code activation and the imprinting of markings to support us this year, to heal us, to bring us strength and power, to attract to us all the resources that we need to achieve our goals and our dreams. And not just this year, but next year as well. Because this Lion's Gate is going to take you all the way through the growth season in 2019. That's why this is so important, you guys. Think of this as an investment in next year. You are making an investment tonight in your own growth that you may not even see the fruits of until spring equinox, which is okay. Love that. Just completing the marking and imprinting. They're still activating codes with you. Some of you are getting symbols and pictures, they're saying. Write these things down. If they're showing you symbols, if they're showing you markings, you can post pictures of that in our Facebook group, and we'll do our best to try and help you translate them. But definitely, if you're seeing anything, a lot of times during the Lion's Gate, they will show you the markings and the codes and the imprints. And it may look like gibberish to you now, but you may discover something 3 years from now by looking back at it. So write everything down that you can remember as soon as you can. Okay. And so with the stone on your masculine side, we call in protection and support and healing for the masculine side of the body, including our energy field. And with the feminine stones, we call in protection, support, and healing for the feminine side of the body in the energetic field. Syrian guides, we ask that you surround us, that you bubble us up, that you protect us and keep us safe. As we do the sacred work, we ask that you guide us, support us, inspire us, nourish us, nurture us. We thank you for your patience, your direction, your clarity. And we receive tonight these codes, these markings, these imprints with so much gratitude, knowing they will carry us through the growth season next year and beyond. And together we say, Amen Aho, and so it is. Amen Aho, and so it is. Okay, so I asked my guides to imprint to the stones. So that means these stones go somewhere very special until next Lion's Gate, because if you did that work tonight, these stones are going to continue to transmit to you. So don't let them get mixed up in the jumble of everything else, right? Because these have now been dedicated and consecrated to something very, very important. So these are your working tools now until Lion's Gate 2019. Your stones are getting heavier, Adelina. That's really interesting, isn't it? Oh, that's beautiful. Nathan, I love that image. You know? And they're showing you a mirror because that's a very literal message about the metaphor that's happening in your life right now. They're giving you all these opportunities to see how absolutely beautiful you are. Don't make me cry, Nathan. But you are getting opportunities to see how beautiful you are when you stand in your strength with nothing to prove. Oh yeah, so Melody, all day long, every day. If you start feeling confused or anxious or I lost my power or what happened, where did it go? You sit down, you close your eyes, you light that candle and you hold your stones. Truly. And that's what you do. This will become your return, right? Your touch point. Like, I feel like I'm losing it. I need to get back to that. Those crystals. That's why I love using crystals as transmitters, because they hold the essence and the energy of the work until you release them from it, which is pretty cool. You guys are all beautiful souls, truly. I'm so blessed to be in your company, truly. And what I saw tonight, what the guides were doing with you, it's really beautiful. And what I love is how they meet you where you are, right? Some of you needed clearing, some of you didn't. And so it's like they know exactly where to go and how to do it. That's why they're the guides. Woo! Wow, Nathan. Maybe you should draw it. I would love to see what you saw. I really would. I think we all would like to see what each other sees. Oh, you guys are so sweet, so good. I'm so thankful for you. Okay. We give thanks for the power, the support, the strength. And if you are willing to do this, then I'm going to ask you to commit. You ready? Repeat after me. I commit to standing in my power with nothing to prove until the Lion's Gate next year, where we shall walk through once again. I commit to standing in my power with nothing to prove until the Lion's Gate next year. Amen, aho. And so it is. Did you do it? Did you commit? Oh, I love that. Carol, that's really cool. Aho. So it is. Until the Lion's Gate next year. And I don't know about you, but I would like to commit to literally doing this again with you next year. You know what I mean? And we will renew our commitment together. It's almost like a vow, right? We just took a really sacred vow. The nothing to prove part is the catch. That's the catch. It sounds so good, doesn't it? And yet on some level, a lot of us think we still have something to prove. And the ego, when you think you have something to prove, that's ego. Your soul has nothing to prove ever to anybody under any circumstances. Your soul is not defensive. When I start being defensive, that's how I know I'm in ego. And that's how I know I have to stop and just go, I don't know where I'm operating from right now. But when you get defensive, your ego has been activated. And that's shadow stuff, yeah? So it's like you got to be mindful of that and just say, nope, I got nothing to prove. But a lot to do. I love that. Well, and you get to a certain age, right, Michelle? Like, that's right, Nathan. The power we have been given, doesn't have to prove itself to anyone. And that is the best part. And I think when you live your life that way, you become the model. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'll have, not so much anymore, but I used to have people say, like, oh, prove it to me. Oh, crystals are magic? Yeah, prove it to me. And I used to kind of feel like, well, gosh, how do I prove it to you, right? And anymore, I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's not for you. I don't want to convince anybody of anything. It's like, well, when the time comes, if it's something that you should have, maybe you'll discover it. Maybe right now it's not right for you. It's a new world, right? When you can stand in that place. So, cheers. Bag the ego, Anna Garza. Look, your ego is actually a really good thing. I'm not one of those light workers who's like, oh, the ego is terrible, right? Because the ego keeps you safe. And the ego can be a good check mechanism on you sometimes, but too much ego, it's like everything in moderation, right? You got to find the balance. Did you do it? You made the commitment? I knew you would. I'm happy to be here with you too. All right. Well, I may be offline for a little bit tomorrow. I'm going to go, party it up. But I will see you on Friday. Actually, I think we're going to go live on Friday because Alexis and I are making all the, I don't know if you saw the live specimen sale tonight, but we did those gift bags. So Alexis and I are going to put those together on Friday, and we think we're going to go live and kind of show you the behind the scenes. Maybe even tease you, be like, is this your bag? I'm going to put that in there. So I'll probably see you live on Friday if you join me for that. But thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go spend my day with my kids tomorrow. That sounds like the best birthday in the world. They asked me why I wanted to do that, and I said, because you guys are my birthday gifts every year. So thank you so much. I love you guys. I feel so blessed to be in your company and in your presence tonight, and I think it was really special. I think you did really, really, really big work tonight, and I think you're going to feel the effects of it. I think you probably are starting to. I just got a huge hit from my guides. You know what they just said to me? Let me make sure I'm translating this to you directly. Do you know what they just said to me? Because I just said to you, you may start to feel it tonight. And what they said is, as soon as the planets are direct, you are going to feel like a slingshot from this. So what they're showing me literally is like a slingshot being pulled back. This is what we did tonight. And as soon as those planets go direct, it's all gonna take off. That's pretty exciting. I love it when they give me little nuggets like that. So if you're gonna ease your way into this power, then you're gonna it's stage gated, right? Because every planet goes retrograde at a certain point and then goes direct again at a different point. I'll go through and come up with a list to post for you of all the planets and when they'll finally be direct. But they literally are showing me that with planetary activity. So I will find that out for you, like the date when they're all direct. But I think we've got another month or two to go before everybody's direct. So we'll see. I know, it can't come soon enough. All right. Thanks for spending my pre-birthday with me. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you. Oh, nope. Guardians of the Four Directions, we release you with gratitude. They never let me forget. You didn't release us. Isn't that funny? No. Honestly, they never let me forget. And I love them for it. Aho. No, we can't keep them. I've told you that story. They will go and get me out of bed to release them. If you think energy work isn't real, then why do spirit guides get someone out of bed to release them from a circle? I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Mwah.